For the thousands of workers seeking H-2B jobs each year, one question is key: which states hire the most people? That line is the reason you clicked, and I'm not going to dodge it. The answer comes down to one thing: seasonal demand. When a tourist season peaks, coastal towns need more hands than a year-round factory. When a fishing season opens, entire towns explode into temporary economies, needing processors, packers, and transporters. Those peaks create concentrated demand that H-2B programs often fill. This video is equal parts geography lesson and job strategy session. Let's dive into the states that keep hiring. Florida is an obvious H-2B hotspot, and for good reason. Landscaping, hospitality, resorts, and construction support are the big categories keeping the pipeline flowing. When snowbirds arrive, neighborhoods bloom economically, and resorts staff up for the season. Landscaping is a year-round, high-intensity operation. Tropical growth never sleeps. Employers need crews for irrigation, planting, and trimming, creating steady demand for workers who can handle the heat. Hospitality and resorts are the heartbeat. Hotels, short-term rentals, golf clubs, and theme parks all hire seasonal food service and housekeeping. Maintenance guest services. During peak holidays and spring breaks, staffing numbers multiply. Managers prefer experienced seasonal hires who can step in fast and deliver good service. Construction is another driver. Remodels, new resort builds, and continuous maintenance need carpenters, general laborers, and specialty crews. With Florida's constant growth and tourist economy, employers rely on programs like H-2B to fill labor gaps quickly. For job seekers, Florida often means more openings and varied role options. Alaska operates on a rhythm defined by the sea, where seafood processing facilities dominate H-2B demand. When fisheries like salmon and crab hit their peak, entire towns shift into high production mode, needing a large, temporary workforce to process the catch. The peaks are intense and short. Within weeks, processors run multiple shifts around the clock. This drives demand for packers, plant operators, maintenance technicians, and logistics crews. It's grueling work. In Alaska, the seafood industry faces massive seasonal spikes. With a sparse local population, there isn't enough labor to meet the demand. So, employers rely on H-2B workers, providing housing and transport to keep processing plants running and supply chains flowing. The economy of a small town can swing dramatically with the season's catch. If you're considering Alaska, know the work is intense and time-bound, but the pay reflects that. For many seasonal workers, it's a reliable place to earn substantial sums in a compact window of time. And for employers, it's an essential supply of dependable labor. Texas is next. It's large, diverse, and growing. Construction, landscaping, and hospitality lead the H-2B roles here, and the scale matters. Major cities like Dallas, Houston, and Austin mean constant building and maintenance. Hospitality booms around conventions and tourism, while construction demand is driven by market cycles and project timelines, not just weather. In Texas, new residential and commercial construction projects create rolling waves of hiring for general laborers and specialty trades. Firms hire seasonally to meet project peaks without inflating payroll. In Texas, landscaping offers long work windows due to the state's size and varied climates. Sprawling developments require constant maintenance, creating a steady pipeline that draws H-2B workers who move between jobs and regions. Hospitality needs ramp up for festivals, conferences, and leisure travel. Temporary staffing allows hotels and event venues to easily match fluctuating demand. For workers, Texas often means multiple opportunities across different industries, with longer seasonal windows than more extreme climate states. Maryland and Virginia's Chesapeake character drives seasonal hiring in seafood processing, restaurants, and coastal tourism. Crab and oyster seasons create hiring cycles. Waterfront restaurants and historical tourism also bring visitors, requiring more staff. Though smaller than Alaska's, processing here is just as seasonal. When crabs are running, processors, packers, and transport crews are in high demand to rush shipments to market and local restaurants. Coastal towns and historic sites draw seasonal staff for roles like tour guides, lifeguards, and maintenance crews. Hospitality also surges, with hotels needing front desk and housekeeping staff to handle weekend crowds and summer visitors. In Maryland and Virginia, proximity to major population centers drives demand for guest-facing roles. Employers often mix local hires with H-2B workers, while job seekers benefit from access to larger markets and robust transit, making moving between jobs easier. Beyond the states we named, there's a broader category: seasonal tourism states. Think mountain towns, island resorts, and national park gateways that inflate and deflate with the tourist calendar. Here, resorts, national parks, and coastlines create short, intense hiring seasons. Resorts hire for roles like front desk, housekeeping, maintenance, ski lift operators, and lifeguards. National parks need seasonal rangers, campground staff, and shuttle drivers. Coastal towns require staff for docks, marinas, and beach services. Employers hire seasonally because the experience is seasonal. Infrastructure sits idle off-peak, making long-term hires uneconomical. H-2B fills this gap with workers on short contracts who move on when the season ends. For job seekers, this offers flexibility and variety. You can follow the seasons: ski in winter, beach in summer, and parks during shoulder seasons. Employers value reliability and speed. Arrive ready to work and you'll likely be rehired or recommended to another employer. Understanding which states hire the most H-2B workers helps job seekers focus their search. When you know where demand concentrates and when it spikes, you can align your travel and application plans, becoming a more competitive candidate. We'll publish the full list of states and industries that use the H-2B program soon. Until then, remember these key patterns: tourist economies, seafood processing hubs, and major construction booms. Match your skills to those rhythms and you'll find more precise opportunities. Also, think practically. Consider housing, transportation, and contract length before you commit. Seasonal roles can be rewarding financially and experientially, but logistics make or break the experience. Plan your arrival and accommodation. Document your experience. Build relationships with repeat employers and always show up on time. We've covered the H-2B hotspots: Florida's resorts, Alaska's seafood, Texas's construction and coastal industries in Maryland and Virginia. Each place has its own tempo. My advice is simple: pick a region and learn the typical contract lengths. Connect directly with employers or trusted recruiters who work those peaks, and always keep good records of your work and references. Seasonal employers value reliability, often rehiring familiar faces. This repeat business helps build a steady annual income. Stay tuned for our detailed list of H-2B states and industries, with links and resources to help you apply. If you found this useful, share it with someone planning their next season of work. Remember, pack smart, time your arrival, and be ready to work. Seasonal work is a network game as much as a labor game. Do it well, and doors will open at the next resort, plant, or project.